Scene script. Have you ever felt that your life is just a collection of things? A whirlwind of clutter, both physical and mental, that seems to be constantly growing? Picture this. A house filled to the brim with things. Clothes that haven't been worn for years, toys your children have outgrown, and kitchen gadgets purchased on a whim, now gathering dust. You feel a constant urge to acquire more, yet you're suffocating under the weight of your possessions. This was the reality for our author. She found herself in a maze of material possessions, trapped in a cycle of buying, storing, and eventually, forgetting. She was constantly chasing after the latest gadgets, the trendiest clothes, and the most fashionable decor. The clutter wasn't just in her home, it had seeped into her mind, clouding her thoughts and leaving her feeling overwhelmed and unfulfilled. She looked around and realized that this wasn't the life she wanted. She wanted space to breathe, to think, to live. She wanted a home that felt like a sanctuary, not a storage unit. She wanted to break free from the chains of consumerism and find contentment in simplicity. This feeling of being overwhelmed was the beginning of a journey towards less. What if I told you that a mischievous cat was the catalyst for my minimalism journey? Yes, you heard that right. It wasn't a life-altering event or a sudden epiphany. It was a cat, a furry, four-legged creature that set the wheels of minimalism in motion for me. Now you may be wondering, how did this happen? It's a story that's as unexpected as it is enlightening. You see, this particular cat had a knack for marking its territory on everything it fancied. And when I say everything, I mean everything. From the cozy corners of the living room to the intricate trinkets on the coffee table, nothing was spared. So, in an attempt to salvage what was left of my sanity and my belongings, I started removing anything that could be marked. Bit by bit, item by item, the house started to look less cluttered, more spacious. But something else happened in the process. As the physical space around me opened up, I felt a strange sense of relief, a lightness that I hadn't experienced before. In this unexpected decluttering, I stumbled upon a surprising truth. I was living with less, and yet I felt more content, more at ease. It was as if I had been carrying a heavy load, and it was only when I started to let go did I realize the weight of it. The cat, in its own peculiar way, had shown me that I needed much less than I thought. This realization didn't come overnight. It was a gradual process, a slow awakening to the fact that my happiness and contentment didn't rely on the number of things I owned. Rather, it was the quality of those things, their value to me, and the joy they brought into my life that mattered. In the face of chaos, I found clarity and a new perspective. I needed less to live more. This was my first encounter with minimalism, a journey that started with a cat and ended with a life-changing revelation. Imagine a life where you only have things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Sounds dreamy, right? It's a tantalizing idea, isn't it? A life unburdened by excess, where every item in your space holds a purpose or a cherished memory. This is the life that the author of our story decided to embrace, the life of living with less. Let's take a step back and understand what this really means. It's not about throwing everything away and living with the bare minimum, but rather it's about decluttering, about making conscious choices of what to keep and what to let go. It's about keeping those toys that make your children's eyes light up with joy, or that book that you can read over and over again, or perhaps that pair of shoes that makes you feel like you can conquer the world. The author's journey towards minimalism was not an overnight transformation. It was a gradual process of recognizing the value in the things that truly mattered to her. It all started with a curious cat that prompted a whole house decluttering, an unexpected beginning, yet it led to a profound realization. The author discovered she needed much less than she initially thought. This revelation brought about a significant shift in her perspective. She started valuing relationships and personal achievements over possessions. Her home became a reflection of her values, a place where every item held significance and purpose. This shift didn't just declutter her space, it decluttered her mind as well, creating room for joy, fulfillment, and focus. The joy of living with less is not about having fewer possessions, but about making room for more of what truly matters. It's about creating a space that feeds your soul, a space that allows you to grow, to dream, and to be truly you. In the absence of clutter, I found joy, fulfillment, and the space to focus on what truly matters. Living with less is not about deprivation, but about enriching your life with the things that truly bring you joy and fulfillment. It's about realizing that sometimes, less is indeed more. Living with less isn't about deprivation, it's about liberation. Indeed, the art of living with less is a liberating journey that unshackles us from the confines of material possession. It is a journey that allows us to redefine our values and refocus on things that truly matter. Let's take a moment to recap the key points from our discussion today. We've learned that clutter can be overwhelming and often distracts us from our true passions. We've also discovered that becoming minimalist can sometimes happen accidentally, but it always leads to a profound realization about what's essential in life. The joys of less are plentiful and far-reaching. With fewer possessions, you're not just gaining more physical space in your home, you're also creating more mental space for your thoughts, ideas, and dreams. You're freeing up time that would otherwise be spent on maintaining, cleaning, and organizing stuff. Instead, you can now devote this time to pursuits that enrich your life, like spending time with loved ones, learning a new skill, or simply enjoying a peaceful moment of solitude. Living with less also reduces stress. Without the constant need to acquire more, you can live comfortably within your means, eliminating the financial stress that often comes with a lifestyle of excess. Plus, with fewer things to worry about, you're able to focus on your well-being, leading to better physical and mental health. Perhaps the most significant benefit of all is the sense of fulfillment that comes with knowing you're living a life that aligns with your values. When you let go of the superfluous, you're left with what truly brings you joy and satisfaction. It's about being content with enough and finding happiness in simplicity. Remember, it's not about achieving perfection. It's about making small, consistent changes that move you towards a less cluttered life. Try the experiment. Identify what you truly value, and consider if your possessions are contributing to your well-being. You might be surprised by what you discover. Living with less is about making room for more joy, more fulfillment, more life. So are you ready to embark on your journey towards less?